Really, Joe? It is. No, it is.
I wish you'd call me Huggy Bear or something like that.
Huggy Bear.
That's my husband.
I'm gonna read this real quick, just so I know it I myself. Review and action on Green Star Products, Inc., a global manufacturer of commercial outdoor LED lighting headquartered in San Antonio. Will present a proposal to replace all existing HBS street lighting and energy efficient LED lighting. The proposal will include a financing package that will allow Wilson County to pay for the LED fixtures with money saved from the reduction of energy use and service requirements. The presentation will be conducted by Tom Wright, President and COO of Green Star Products.
Mark, he could not be here.
Okay.
Crash that off.
And Mr. Duran had a death in the family, so he couldn't be here. And I need to recuse myself from voting since I know the company. So, but we have two wonderful presenters,
Okay.
and they will introduce themselves. They are with Green Star.
Yeah, good morning. My name's James McVeigh.
Okay.
It's in the folder that I provided.
Oh, it's in the photo, okay.
Yes. This is Jordan Youngman with Green Star. So thank y'all for letting us be here first and foremost. I'm not sure if you're familiar with Green Star. Just to give you
So yeah,
a quick
start.
history.
I know nothing about this, so
Perfect.
don't be scared to go
Okay,
far
perfect.
back as you need to.
Perfect. So Green Star LED, we've been in business for 10 years. We are a manufacturer of roadway spec LED lights. We're based in San Antonio, Texas. All of our product is manufactured in San Antonio. We're proud to be able to hire San Antonio employees and add to the community there. We are a veteran-owned company. We're a minority-owned company. And we have had the pleasure of being the lead supplier of LED lights to the city of San Antonio through CPS Energy. So with CPS Energy, once again, they're owned by the city. We have over 100,000 lights that we've deployed in the city of San Antonio. So when you do drive into San Antonio and you look up and see a pretty white light, those are ours. We're happy to say that the city has been able to achieve some extremely positive energy savings with those lights. LED, if you're not familiar, most people nowadays have seen the benefits of LED lights, but LED lights can provide anywhere from 40 to 60% energy savings. For the city, typically, the utility bill is one of the largest expenses on the budget. So to be able to reduce those expenses has been a great benefit to the city. We do have sales offices in India. We have sales offices in Mexico. We sell all over the world. We've probably sold over 1 million LED lights across the world since we've been in business in 2009. We came out here March of last year. We met with Mr. Duke at the time, and we started talking with him because at the time you guys were looking to switch over to LED lights because you understood the energy savings. From the utility standpoint, on top of the energy savings, there's a huge benefit from an operational standpoint. The HPS lights, the older lights that you have out in the market right now, those fail. They're bulbs, they burn out. There's ballast in there that burn out. So you'd have to ask your people, but typically those lights get touched probably once every 2 years. So you've got labor costs you out there, you've got lifts, you've got bulbs, you've got to replace ballast. It's an extremely expensive expense. So you can spend anywhere from $100 to $300 a light just to go out in a couple years. With LED lights, they're designed to last for over 100,000 hours. So there's no bulbs to change. There's nothing that's going to go out. If it goes bad, it goes bad. But it's designed to last. If you equate the hours, it comes to about 25 to 30 years that those lights are supposed to work. Right? So we came out here in March. We brought a couple samples. At the time, you installed the lights. You liked the lights. We also brought a light that has a camera on it. We had talked at the time about not only doing lights, but there may be a possibility to provide some type of security with the lights. From the city standpoint, if there's area in the cities where you can incorporate cameras for security purposes, for your customers that you're actually putting lights out on their property, it was a way to put a camera up and allow the utility to make an extra revenue stream by charging a little bit extra for that camera. I won't go into all the details of the camera, but that was something we discussed at the time. So back in March, everything was going very well as far as it was progressing that you wanted to move to lights, but at the time there wasn't a budget available to buy these lights. So what we'd like to propose, since we're in very close to you guys, like 45 minutes away, as we're the supplier to San Antonio, our goal is to be the supplier to the city of, the state of Texas and be the lead manufacturer here. So what we'd like to do is actually ask you during this meeting to propose doing a survey so we could actually evaluate your lights to determine how many lights you have. Right now, we have an estimate that you have around 600 lights. We're not sure if that's accurate, but what we need to know on our side is.
When you
what
say
that
600, we're talking about the Felps area, not the city of Floresville.
I'm-
He's talking about city streetlights,
City
the ones
streetlights.
owned by the, not owned, but, the ones for the city of Stockdale, city of Polk, and city of Floresville. There's a couple for Wilson County, but most of those that the 600 he's referencing are for just the cities, not our outdoor lights that go to our
Okay,
our
correct.
customers.
Correct, yeah. So for those 600 lights, we'd like to get an evaluation survey to find out those lights, you know, are they 100 watt lights, are they 250 watt lights? Once we're able to get that survey put together, we'd like to come back with a proposal to provide those lights to you on a, we discussed back in March doing some type of a lease-to-own program. We're of course open if you want to just buy the lights. We're happy to participate in the bids if you just want to buy the lights. But at the time, it was discussed, since there wasn't that money available, we could actually use the energy savings from the lights to pay for the lights. So the energy savings, 40 to 60% savings, is then used to pay for that light for the term of the lease. The lease, depending on what you're trying to accomplish, can be anywhere from 3 to 7 years. But during that time, those money that you're paying right now for that electricity pays for the lights, and then when the lease is done, the city then needs to recoup the savings and enjoy the benefits and the savings from those lights moving forward. So I think that's what we're asking here for you guys is, have you had a chance to evaluate LED lighting? And we'd like to be able to move forward with you guys to do a survey to begin the next steps as far as putting a program together.
Is this an item that we have to open up to open bids? Are you gonna do the survey and then provide us with the information so that we can provide it to other vendors?
So what we would request is for you to provide us, if you have, which we would assume that you have the number of lights that you have as assets, and can tell us the wattage on those. So when I say survey, it's basically how many lights, what wattage. So we would ask you to provide that. If you would like us to do a survey, we can as well do that, drive around and count lights and do that as well. We would probably build that cost that survey to get to this.
And then the other question is, do we own the streetlights in Stockdale, Polk, and Floresville, but they pay the electric bill?
It's through the rates. That's how we bill them, is through the rates that were approved by the board in the city of Floresville. And if
So-
you recall, it's a deep discount that the cities get compared to what outdoor customers pay.
So Phelps owns those fixtures that are in the city of Polk,
Any,
and we do that as a community service to those.
no, we bill it.
Okay, no, I'm not sure asking. And the city pays for those,
Mhm.
and they pay those based on a fixed per wattage size of the.
There's the base charge, and then there's a adder for the generation and transmission charge for the KWH. So it could be, you know, $12, and then there's the kilowatt hours that we bill through the generation and transmission charge.
I see the bills, I mean, the checks that come through that I have to sign for electricity through Felps. Say, for instance, on a $40,000 bill for streetlights, what could we save on that? You're talking about?
So typically it's 40 to 60% savings on that. So you're talking on a $40,000 bill, you're talking about a savings to the city of 20 to
And that's usually about the
25,000.
average of what I'm signing, give or take a
Yeah,
little bit.
so, yeah.
And they have it broken out just for street lighting?
Yes,
Okay.
everything's broken out into what areas, what
You're paying
areas,
this per year?
So the rate would have to
A
change.
month?
a month.
The rate would have to
We'd
change.
have to have the rate changed, because that's through the board and the council. We couldn't just, the way the rates are set up now, there wouldn't be any savings to the cities, because you'd still be charged the same rate.
What are you charging?
Per
kilowatt?
fixture?
Per kilowatt or per fixture?
No, just
Per
per
fixture.
fixture.
Well, both.
They're not actually billed out. You're just charging the transmission rate as a rider that's on there. You're not charging them for usage pure like a residential of knowing how much is being billed on a KWH side. So they're estimating, should be estimating what that fixture is using calculating what the transmission right should be on there and then charging a fee for that light plus that rider, should be how it's set up. Probably in that circle of how it's done.
Yeah, so we have
So-
the fuel charge and all the
Yeah.
regulatory charges that we.
Okay, so the city would save 60%, but what happens to Felps then?
Yeah, that was
They
my
wouldn't.
question.
It doesn't, because it's the rate, we would still have to bill you the same amount,
The
that's what I'm
same, so the
saying.
city wouldn't be saving anything.
Until we
Not until there
modify
was a
our
rate
Yeah.
agreement
change.
with the city.
But
But
my
like I-
question is our business is selling electricity.
But we still sell.
We'd have to do some cost of service stuff, because like I
Yeah.
said, there's already a huge difference between what we bill the city and what we bill a customer for the same exact light. I mean, some of the cities get a little bit bigger than what we put out on the customer's property.
So I
but-
think what she's telling you, that 40 is not gonna see the drop at, period that he's talking about. It's gonna be a small drop if
Now,
we did adjust that
yeah.
rate.
The other thing is that going through the cities, if you see our street lights, a lot of them are so dim, they're really not, worth using. Now, the Phelps did, now that we installed the LED security lights, the difference is just amazing. So, I'm in agreement that LED is the way to go, because there are some street lights in Floresville that aren't worth the money in where they're at, so just, and I'm sure it's the same thing in Stockdale.
No,
and
Very
Stockdale's all
much
got
so.
changed out.
My 2 cents worth on this is the cities have been getting 3% forever and ever. And the book that we've been looking at said it needed to be somewhere around 5 to 7. And I think if we can help them out with a street lighting deal, even though it may cost us some money as an organization, that I think it's worthwhile.
So, can you tell us some stories about some other cities?
We've got many cities that we've, down in Mexico we do quite a bit, but, they're all gonna be the same basic story as far as the energy savings. But once again, on top of energy savings, the other benefits, as the mayor has talked about, it's the white, clean light, it's the brighter light. There's a lot of people that don't care about the environment. The LED lights are green because they use less energy, and that less energy requires less energy to be made and less CO2 to be put in the air, so it allows the city to become a green city. So there's just many benefits as far as the lights. You talk to the police around town, those orange yellowish lights that you have out there, they don't provide a lot of light, they provide coloring index. So if you look at a car, you don't know if it was a blue car or a black car at night, so the white light gives clean white light. So once again, there's a lot of benefits. I understand as a utility, you're here to make money and you're reducing energy, but you're also taking care of your customers and providing those savings back to them. And then-
So let me just share just a couple of things. I've already had some discussions with Mike and Drew over being uniform across the system on some things. So all new lighting, period, for residential, if they're doing a light, is the LED, okay? So we are not purchasing anything back to the old.
The
Okay?
vapor.
So when all those start being going out, they're all changed to the LED on the
So
system.
where are you doing that?
Yeah, we're doing that. Now, the street lighting part would be the same thing. If one went out, you're gonna have an LED. Now, is that uniform? My answer is no, because you're in a town, you're gonna have 5 of them that might have the LED and then the rest of them don't. Me, that's not beautification for a city. So if we're responsible for that, y'all might wanna think about, eventually doing a change out, but this is gonna have to be put into the budget. Something this large will have to be put in the budget. This company has already been tested. We do have them on our preferred list, so it has already passed all of that, okay? But when you come to this, it would have to go out for a bid process, like you're saying, to see if they can become into that bid. Those are the 3 comments or 4 that I just wanted to share with you. We've already approved them. They're on the list. This company is. So if we decided, or you did eventually, that, hey, this can go into a budget, we can do all the towns, or we can do just whichever one you wanna pick, pull them out of a hat, whatever. We go, to those towns and install. We have to run numbers and see how much it's gonna cost, and we can come back with a budget thing for you when it's budget time to put that in, but right now it's not in the budget, from my understanding, correct? Yeah.
More or less 600 lights, an estimate.
So you're looking at 600 lights, it depends on the wattage. If you were just to buy the lights, you're looking probably 100 to, for a 100 watt equivalent, you're probably looking at $110 to $120 for the 250 watts, or, you know, in the low 200s for that. So you're looking at, whatever that is, 600 times, let's say an average of $150, what that would come to, if you were to buy them out. But as I was saying, that's a huge capital expense you have to put up right front. We would prefer to allow you to use those energy savings, so it's not an expense. You've already got budgeted your electrical right now, and you're using those savings to pay for the lights, is what we'd like to do. And I think it's really important as well, once again, you're talking about selling electricity, but there's a huge, from utility, there's a huge operational savings to these lights. I mean, if you think about how many guys you have going around in crews fixing lights, or you don't even know how many lights are working right now. You're being charged, obviously, for every light, whether it's working or not, is what you just found out. So LED lights, you know that those lights are gonna be working, they're not gonna have the bulbs failures.
So I like the idea of the security. How would we build that to businesses or to even homeowners?
So we recommended when we came back here, as far as the camera goes, right now when somebody calls in and they want a security camera or a security light on their property, they'll charge them a fee for that light plus the electricity. We would propose charging a little extra for the camera itself.
And
Now,
what's a typical charge?
that would be up to you guys to decide that, so however you want to, but, you know, you could get another $7 or $8 from the customer per month to pay for that. Now, the benefit to the camera that we've provided is, that is an IP camera, so it can be connected up to a network. So, we had one here on the building for a while, and it was actually connected, and you could actually get on your phone, you could be anywhere in town and look at that light. But there's an expense when you come to connecting cameras. So for people on their property, they want one at their gate, you know, they got the gate that comes in. Well, they don't have a network, they're not gonna do that. This camera has onboard storage. Think of it kind of as a game camera. It's recording, it's constantly working. When they drive up to it, they only have access to the camera. They can log into the camera and basically look at the video. So there's not after sale for you. You don't have to go there and manage the camera. It's running, it's working. They log into it, you can pull the video down from there.
Just a continuation on one thing that he said, until this rate you're talking about is changing to a city, if that was a proposal that would be done, there would be a savings because the sales, you know, that we'd be purchasing off of CPS, you know, the wholesale provider, would be down because the usage of this is gonna be less. We're gonna bill the same, so until that rider would be changed, what's billed to the city, you're gonna see the revenues of this utility would take in that increase. It would take it. You wouldn't see it as a city, okay, until we change somehow of the billing thing of what you bill the city. But the utility would see a little bit more into your thing, but then that would be the bottom line revenue. There again, that's returned to each city, so you would end up, you know, in the long run with that money, you know, in the city
It would be
budget.
between the two, it would be between us and the city. Somebody in that network gets the money.
You're gonna get it eventually. I mean, even if it came to us, you know, Felps, let's say whatever amount that is, let's say it's 100,000, at the end of the year, that bottom 100,000, there again, 3% of that's would
No,
be
it's
going,
gross electric sales, so if we're,
not billing that KWH.
then, well, only if the rate changed. But yeah, if we change the rate, then you would actually see a decrease in your city payment because the KWH would be lower.
So we'd have to adjust something on the rate structure for that light to the city, eventually for them to see something on that.
Like a simple question though, you said when you replace a mercury vapor security light that we have now, do we replace it with an LED bulb? So what,
The whole structure's changed.
the whole okay,
Yeah.
so we can't add an LED bulb to those systems? Okay, so when we do replace one now, we are replacing it with a similar product to this?
I do not know who has won the bid
They're
or whatever
bid,
on it,
so
but yeah.
It's whoever's meets the specs that's the lowest bidder.
Yeah. And then there again, that's one thing that you always need to look at, that lowest bidder, sometimes you might have to go up a little bit, because that lowest bidder sometimes is really not the best product once you end up looking at it. You know, that's why sometimes they are the lowest price because of that. So you should have a rider in there, that you have a percentage that you can play with to go to your bidder.
So we are basically doing this now with a different light, a similar light,
As they go out,
as they go out. We would just be putting them all out ASAP.
making them uniform.
Okay, so uniforming is kind of what we're looking at now. Instead of taking 20 years, over 20 years, that's, okay.
Yeah.
Well, according
What?
to, every 2 years.
Well, no, but I'm saying, but it's the bulb that goes out 2 years, not the system that goes out.
So,
But we're not replacing the bulbs.
Oh, okay, so we are doing
Yeah,
this.
you change it, doing a whole change out.
the whole unit's coming down.
Yeah.
Okay, okay.
But my question is the vote that we're looking for is to give you authority to,
Go forward with
Take
the
bids.
cost analysis.
oh,
But we just still have to go to open bidding process.
Yeah.
well, I understand that, but, how do we get this program moved forward is my question. What do we need to do to put this on the agenda or put this in the works that we put it in the budget?
I'm saying, me personally, right now, where we are, what he's asking for, I don't know if it needs board approval. I mean, I think I can share that information to get, you know,
As
what
long
you're
as he's
thinking the
doing it
cost
out of his
is.
own pocket, he can do whatever
Is
he
this,
wants.
yeah,
But then, when it comes time to maybe implement this, it would need board stuff that we maybe go to.
is this a capital improvement?
Eventually, it would be.
So out of that 1.5 million, we wouldn't even have to go to a budget situation. We could use it out of that 1.5 million reserve.
We would have the cash for it, but it wouldn't be in the budget.
Have to make a budget amendment.
You know, the 1.5 they're talking about that you're moving?
Yeah, the
Yeah.
reserve
There,
fund.
you'd
Yeah,
have-
I'm just
that's
saying-
cash,
I'm
but
just
it's not
saying
in the
is
budget.
Are we talking about something that we're not gonna be able to do anything about for 12 months? Whenever the new budget comes out? Or are we talking about something that we need to make a decision on so that we can move forward?
So our goal is always to be within budget. And in this case, it would take away from something else unless we did a budget amendment.
And what if we said it's taken away from that 1.5?
Well, that's cash,
That we
that's not a
have-
budgeted project.
Okay.
So what the budget consists of are projects that we've outlined in the capital budget, and it would kind of take away from one of those. So either we could give up a project or do something else. There's always contingencies in there.
So you
but
couldn't increase the budget in the middle of the budget year?
You can, and then it would have to go back to the 3 cities, for,
Okay, that's.
just to let them know.
Okay,
So-
Is this-
any amendments would have to go back to the cities for approval.
Okay.
Yeah, not for approval, just for an update.
Notification.
Only the board
Yeah.
gives approval.
Okay.
So I think the point, this is just me thinking on top of my head, and please correct, I think we're at the point that if y'all want to explore this, that I get some of that information to them, let them do the study, and then we bring it back, and then once we kind of see where we are, then like I said, it has to be opened under a bid process. And it will have to be in the budget as a capital thing, which, like y'all were saying, there's a possibility you could get that done, or you might have to wait, however y'all voted on that. But we can get them working, since they asked for it, no other vendor has asked to provide that.
I had a call yesterday from one,
Okay.
sorry.
Is that the one we talked about?
Yeah,
Was that me and
Eagle
you talking about that one?
yeah.
Yeah, okay. So, you know, if they're asking for that information, we can just supply that to a couple of people maybe, and then come back with some ideas for y'all, and then y'all can say, yes, we wanna move forward, and then we stick it out for bids on that. But right now, they're on the program. But my thing is, I would think that when you look at this and y'all decide to do this project, if you decide to do it, that we stay uniform for the city. Like if it's a city of Floresville, you use that product for all of them. You don't use half of this other maker and half of someone else, because to me, that's not uniform.
Right.
I want stuff that we do, beautification to every project in every city, even going down the road. I expect that. I don't wanna see leaning poles, I don't wanna see that beautification. This is the aesthetics, aspect of it. So that would be the only thing that I would ask when we, eventually, if we go this way, that we bid it out to where that person gets that whole city or our whole area, not just a little bitty part of it on that aspect. That'd be what I would like to see, because like I said, I'm one that, I want the stuff to look good.
The information that these gentlemen were asking for, don't we have that already?
Oh, it's easy
No,
to query
easy,
out.
yeah, easy.
And the city of Stockdale already has LED lights. That was a pilot project we did, and it was a lot more expensive than we thought it was gonna be.
The installation, yeah, the cost of it is probably your minor part. It's the time consumption of the installation and taking it down the retirement that you're looking at.
Okay.
So Stockdale already has the LED
They
street
had
lights?
about 36 that we changed out, and then they added 16 that they paid for.
Is that the entire city? Is that all?
No, we still- We're still like him. See, like me, I have my own security light that I rent, and it's still the old light.
No, that was just the city lighting for the city of Stockdale.
Yeah, they just did that. So you go to Stockdale and you see yellow, pretty white, yellow, pretty white, orange, because some of us have our own light. I'd like to get a new light myself.
Yeah.
But,
Well,
Mr.
it's a
Chair,
big difference.
it does make, like before, on an intersection in a residential street, when you have the yellow light, you may have 1/4 of that intersection lighted, and with these new white lights, the whole intersection is lighted. So,
That's when you get those real heavy drapes on your bedroom windows,
Yeah.
and don't sleep at night.
it sounds like we have information that they're asking for, so I think our job is to, at our next meeting, determine a budget and amend it,
Right.
Well, I
and
would
then
just,
ask for, or go to the council and
It depends on when we get back information. If I can share that information with them, which I should have the authority, we can share that with both of the people that are asking for it, and we come back with stuff, I would say let's have some numbers as staff bringing it to you, and it might be next month, but it could be the month after before we get everything in of what we think it would cost this utility to do that, and then present that to the board, and y'all make that decision if y'all want to do this. You know, me personally, it'd be probably a beautification project is how I'd look at it for each city and for safety for the city people. So, you know, I would present it like that to you, but I want numbers to give it to you. Right this moment, I would not support me selling this to you until I see the numbers and let them give us something on that.
yeah, so basically, I think today we're just looking for the board to give management,
Just a vote of confidence to go ahead and give this or whatever, right?
yeah, that's what I'm.
I don't need a vote, I mean, really.
Unless somebody's against, further investigation.
another statement I have is if and when we decide to do this for the cities, that everybody that lives in the city that has their own light, can we put some kind of flyer in their bill going, hey, you know, you have an old model LED light, vapor light, and
We'll have to send them a separate letter or
Well, you can
something.
send it in the newsletter, can't you?
Yeah, just
Changing
something
them
that-
out and
because-
Yeah,
all
but nobody
that.
reads the newsletter. I'm sorry.
I read one, I finally read one, my wife
So
said,
much
you
stuff.
should read this, you know, it's like, you know what, you're right, I read one
Yeah,
yesterday.
thank you.
But the people that are leasing our security lights, if they have the old one, are they giving the option to get those switched out? Or they keep staying with the old?
They can upgrade for a fee. Since it's not on our schedule, we kind of look at it like a little bit of a loss. So they can upgrade for a fee, but it's usually just when they're,
There's someone here, I don't know who it is, he's go around, you might know him, I
Well,
don't
let
know.
me make sure we know before we do
Yeah.
it.
It's Robert.
Well, they go around anyway.
Robert? Oh.
Okay.
So, one thing about what you were at, I'm sorry I was interrupted there. So, if you had an old one at your house and it went out, you would be put in the new LED. Like I said, anything that goes out is replaced with the LED that has already been in the bid process, and I don't know who that vendor is, but that's what's going back. Like if yours went out, actually only got shot or something, you know, all those things, he
heaven
would
forbid.
be replaced with the LED lighting.
But at an additional fee?
no, not if it went out.
Not if it went out.
But if you're calling us out there to do it and we're scheduling it, then yeah, we are.
Oh, okay.
It's a beautification of your home.
Yeah, so like I said, we're through with the old lighting, it's going forward, it's just not gonna be a replacement of everything out there. But like I said, if you're looking at the city streets, I would do the whole thing as a beautification aspect. I mean, we sell to the cities,
so it
we're
would
owned
just
by
be,
the
it would just
cities.
be Polk and Floresville then?
That's right.
If we
It'd
didn't
be
do
what?
customer
It would just
lighting.
be Polk and
Yeah.
Floresville?
Oh.
Because
And then eventually you can look
Stockdale
into
did their
the
two
customer
lights.
stuff, but I wouldn't jump.
I don't know how
Unless
they
they
work out the board, but
They get shot out all the
I
time.
know. And I got some kids that have,
You'd be surprised if there's one warranty claim in the same.
Yeah, so
shut this board.
this isn't a bug, it's just,
Yeah.
y'all don't have a problem with me moving forward and giving that information, do you? I think it's all right for my.
I don't even think she needs a
share
motion.
I
that.
think,
Yeah, I don't think it's a problem for me to share that information, we'll share it with whoever asks for it.
Well, we did put action on it, we can
Yeah.
just have a motion to, I'll make a motion to give, management the authority to, review Green Star's products and proposals, and to further investigate the unified lighting, I guess we call it.
I second.
Mr. Aiken seconds. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion
I-
carries.
Re- Recuse myself?
Yeah, she did not vote.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
According to the open meetings act?
Make sure you-
You come
Can't
back
talk.
Huh?
Can't talk.
Okay. You come back in now.
Okay.
They ordered them last week, but I don't think they were in there, they're expecting maybe the end of the week they'll be in, but.
Excellent. Well, I'll get her information from her, and then I'll email
Marcy,
you and then send it to you.
if Johnny Boy's light goes out
All right,
tonight,
thank
I
you
want
very
to
much.
know it, okay?
Congratulations.
Thank you.
He's gonna be on the list though.